The Indiana Fever. Kelsey, Money, Mitch, put them in a ditch. Lexie Hold taking over. Arie McDonald and her farm giving me assists, giving me steals. 5 assists for Arie McDonald. Oh yeah, we're ready. We are ready. The Indiana Fever beat the Washington Mystics in the first game of the Commissioner's Cup, 85-76.
The Washington Mystics thought they broke the Indiana Fever. After bullying Sophie Cunningham in the preseason and embarrassing them with a win on May 28th, they probably figured the Fever were done. Caitlin Clark got injured, and everyone wrote Indiana off completely. For both of you, just getting your first win after a 3-game losing streak. How did it feel? I mean, I'm just proud of our group for staying with it. Obviously, we can't control injuries. We can't control any of that, but I think we had 2 really good practices this week, and to be able to come out and get a win after that. Just proud of us for fighting, and also just really proud of Arie for coming out and providing just some incredible minutes. 27 minutes, and she was ready. She stayed ready, and we needed every single one of those, and I'm just really proud of the group today. But here's what the Mystics didn't count on. Sometimes when you knock down a team, they don't stay down. They get back up swinging harder than before. And on June 3rd, with their backs against the wall and their superstars sidelined, the Fever delivered the most satisfying revenge game you'll ever see. Show the team your support by commenting. I've got the Fever below. Let's go. Fever dog, you know it's coming. Bow, bow, bow. On to the next. Woo. Feels good, baby. Woo. Making a whip? Huh, baby? That's a good-looking dog. Woo. Happy days. What really happened during the last time these 2 teams met that made this revenge so sweet? Picture this. The Washington Mystics walked into CFG Bank Arena and beat the Fever 83-77. But it wasn't just the win that stung. It was how they did it. The Mystics treated Indiana like they were some rookie team that didn't belong on the same court. They played with this cocky attitude that screamed, "We own you." Indiana Fever lost to a young Washington Mystics team 83-77. Look, lost without Caitlin Clark. I'll say it. Fire Stephanie White. Oh boy, the disrespect started way before that game, though. Remember what they did to Sophie Cunningham during the preseason? The Mystics bullied her like she was some nobody. They shoved her around and acted like the Fever were just punching bags for their entertainment. That behavior set the tone for everything that followed. And that's Kiki era Finn. And I got to tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA. It is. Then came the injury that changed everything. Caitlin Clark went down with a left quad strain on May 26th against the New York Liberty. The basketball world immediately wrote the Fever's obituary. Everyone said they were done without their superstar. 2 weeks minimum. They said, maybe longer. Here's where it gets really brutal for Indiana. After Clark got hurt, they couldn't buy a win. First, the Liberty beat them. Then the Mystics embarrassed them on May 28th. Then the Connecticut Sun piled on May 31st. 3 straight losses, 3 games of everyone saying the same thing. The Fever are nothing without Caitlin Clark. This was an absolute embarrassment. An embarrassing performance from the Indiana Fever. The Mystics probably looked at their schedule and saw June 3rd circled as another easy win. Why wouldn't they? Indiana was falling apart. Their best player was sitting on the bench in street clothes. The team looked lost, confused, and completely outmatched every time they stepped on the court. But that's exactly what made this setup so perfect for revenge. The Mystics expected another punching bag. They expected the same broken team they beat just days earlier. Washington walked into that building thinking they were about to feast on a wounded animal. They had no idea what was coming. The Fever spent those dark days after the losing streak doing something the Mystics never expected. They weren't breaking down. They were building something that would make Washington regret every single moment of disrespect they had shown. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, who would step up to lead this revenge mission? The answer came from someone who had been Clark's backcourt partner over the last year. Kelsey Mitchell, the heart and soul of the franchise for almost a decade, suddenly found herself carrying the hopes of an entire franchise on her shoulders while their star player was sidelined. Had the first 4. Washington had rattled off 8 in a row. Indiana missed 5 straight shots. Mitchell catch and shoot, and ends it with a 3. Great screen on the baseline by Bonner. She's the point guard of the future for them. Mitchell turns the corner, gets inside, and lays it in. Mitchell, I'm telling you. Pat, what am I going to say about Mitchell? Mitchell knew what this game meant. She had been there when the Mystics embarrassed them just days earlier. She watched Washington treat her team like they didn't belong. The pressure was enormous. Everyone expected the Fever to fold without their superstar. Mitchell had to prove that Indiana was more than just one player. The early moments of the game told the story. The Fever needed someone to step up and take charge. Mitchell looked around the court and realized it had to be her. She had been playing professional basketball for years, but this felt different. This was her moment to show she could lead a team to victory when it mattered most. Here's where Mitchell's mindset became crucial. She wasn't thinking about individual stats or personal glory. She was thinking about getting revenge on the team that had disrespected her teammates. The Mystics had designed their defense specifically to stop her. They knew she would be the primary scoring threat without Clark. Mitchell had to find ways to break through their schemes. All of that comes into play, and Indiana's done a nice job feeding the post. Mitchell off the screen finds some space. Oh, it's a much-needed three. McDonald trying to use that Boston screen. McDonald inside. Mitchell hangs, lays it in, and a foul. Kelsey Mitchell trying to put the finishing touches on this one. She started attacking the basket early. She moved the ball around and found open teammates. When Washington double-teamed her, she stayed calm and made the right play. Her three-point shooting became deadly. She hit shot after shot from beyond the arc, watching the Mystics scramble to adjust their defense. Kelsey Mitchell breaking out of her slump a little bit, making some big plays down the stretch. Also something that Kelsey Mitchell did late in that game. She got hit by McDonald with a pass. She moves without the ball, and Kelsey's the kind of player you can give the ball and let her cook, clear out. But also it's going to make her tough to guard when she is able to be active without the ball in her hands. So that was a good sign, I think, for the Fever's offense and some of that motion offense that Stephanie White is trying to instill. The veteran guard shot 7 of 14 from the field and knocked down 4 of 7 three-pointers. But the real magic happened in the fourth quarter when Washington tried to mount a comeback. Mitchell sealed the deal by completing a crucial three-point play that extended the Fever's lead. The Mystics couldn't stop her when the game was on the line. She proved that the Fever had more than one dangerous scorer.